What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage. And yes, if you're excited about the EPA submitting the waivers and the fact that they can't enforce the Clean Air Act to Congress, there are things that you can do right now that will make a monumental difference on how fast this gets repealed. It's on me, it's on you. So welcome on back to TK's Garage. So I talked about this over the last couple of days. I mean, I've done multiple videos on the EPA and the emission standards and whether you can delete your diesel truck or not. And the EPA has determined that they can no longer enforce the Clean Air Act. What does that mean? It means they're not kicking down the door of anybody's shop anytime soon. Now, I've got people that I've become acquainted with here, recently that have diesel shops and actually come after by the EPA, like Double R Diesel. He's done a couple of videos on it. You can go check it out. He actually talks about his personal situation and a couple others. And I've had multiple emails from multiple shops that had interactions with the EPA. And I can tell you this. I did get a response back from their PR people or whatever at the EPA, and I am getting an interview with the EPA administrator, and I am going to go into detail and ask him about all of these cases, including recent ones like Turn 14, which is a parts supplier that sold emission defeat devices or distributed emission defeat devices. Now, everybody's like, oh, the EPA is still doing it. No. The current administration didn't start till the 21st of January, okay? This stuff was filed on the 16th of January, before the current administration. Now, the current administration can just roll it back. The current Department of Justice could be like, we're not enforcing this, get it out of here, dismissed, bye. And I think that you're gonna see that happen. My question to the administrator, or some of the questions I will have for the administrator, are gonna be very simple. What about the people that have already paid? As I talked about with the Double R Diesel stuff, or Double R Diesel, and go watch his video. You can find out how much he paid. I won't get into that because I don't want to spoil it. Go watch his video. And I'll tag him in the description. I think that these people that, whether or not they signed an agreement that said that they gave the EPA jurisdiction or whatever, when the federal government comes up your ass with a flashlight and you don't have the money to fight, even somebody like me who's very well off and well-to-do money-wise, if the government comes after you with the full force of the Department of Justice, like if you're not Warren Buffett or friggin' Bill Gates or Elon Musk, you don't have the money to fight that like you want to fight it, right? And this guy just has a modest shop, does his own thing, does tuning, did whatever, and got nailed. So my question for the administrator is going to be, are you going to refund these people? $10,000 is a drop in a bucket considering the $20 billion you're finding in fraud and everything else. I feel like, the Diesel brothers need a refund. I feel like Double R Diesel needs a refund. I feel like all of these individual shops that the EPA unconstitutionally went after deserve a refund. I think it's just common sense. I think, especially if you're going to cut the agency or cut it to where it's not really going to do what it does currently today, right? When it goes after like individual shops and manufacturers or whatever. I think it's time that they refund these people that have been screwed. I don't know what that means. I don't know if the government's willing to go that far, but I am going to ask the question. Now, getting into what you can do to make sure that this happens, if you're in Texas and you have a Republican congressman, call their friggin' phone. You can literally Google your area, where you live, and who your congressman is, and if they have an R next to their name, you need to call them. And the reason why I say this is I don't see any Democrats signing on to repeal the Clean Air Act. I don't see it. Could there be? Maybe, especially in Michigan. That could possibly happen. So if you're in Michigan, maybe. But if you're in like Texas, if you're here in Nevada, if you're in California, wherever you're at, Utah, Missouri, wherever, Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi, South Carolina, wherever you're at, you gotta, if you really want to see a change, right? And we're going to get back to having reliable V8 engines, none of this emissions bullshit. You want it to happen, it's going to happen. But if you want it to happen now, it's about making phone calls. Just a phone call. It's not hard to do this. Dial a phone number and then be like, And what they'll do is 90% of the time they send you to a voicemail box where you can leave a comment or whatever. You can also email your congressman as well. I know people that do that all the time. You can email your congressman. But making a phone call and leaving a voicemail for your congressman and saying, hey, I noticed that the EPA administrator just sent this to y'all in Congress to make a decision to repeal the Clean Air Act. We need to make that happen. Like, we need to repeal it and replace it with something that's common sense. And we need to do it today. That's it. 30 seconds of your time in a phone call can make all the difference in the world. And if you really want to be a scumbag, I'm kidding. If you really want to help out, you can also, if you actually get a congressman on the phone, you can also ask them, hey, are you guys going to refund this money to these shops that the EPA unconstitutionally took money from? I think that's a fair question. I think these people need to be made whole. I think the climate terrorism, because that's what I'm going to call this at this point. It's not even like BS, it's terrorism. You're literally causing more harm to the planet by having to replace an engine at like 100,000 diesel. People bought diesel trucks that didn't need them for hauling and pulling and stuff for a couple reasons. They were keeping them for a long time. I can tell you, I had a Chevy 3500. I don't even think this was a Duramax days, right? But it did have an Allison. So it was like maybe it was a 98 or something. I had a 98 Chevy 3500 extend cab dually with the I think it was a six something liter diesel. I don't remember. But I bought that truck with like 170,000 miles on it. And I sold it to the tow truck company next to me at my store that I had in the Carolinas. I sold it to the tow truck company that was next to me, and when it had like 500 and something thousand. And they literally just hooked the bed off and put a tow rig on the back of that truck. And the last time I was there, he still had the truck. And it had over 1 million miles on it. You can't do that with diesels today because of all the EGR shit, all the emissions crap, and everything else. It's just not possible. So, if you want to get back to actually helping the environment and not wasting trucks and causing more environmental harm, because that's what's happening, wasting more diesel and pumping more, because we have to keep pumping more diesel because these vehicles that have these emission systems, by the way, geniuses, also cause worse gas mileage. I'm just saying. And that's facts. I've had diesels, Duramaxes recently, as recent as like 2019, brand new Silverado, and I couldn't believe how sucky the gas mileage was in that thing. It was horrible. And I say gas mileage, I mean diesel mileage. The MPGs was horrible, all right? Now, I don't know what happened. It hit a pothole and the emission system just fell off that truck. I really don't know how it happened, but it happened. And magically, I was getting like 30% more miles per gallon on that diesel. It was interesting how that worked. And then I bought the 3.0 Duramax, which is here on the channel. I bought that 1500 Duramax. Crap, don't ever buy one of those. Oh my God. Belt on the rear. Oh, it's so dumb. Oh, so dumb. Such a piece of shit truck. I put 178 miles on it before it grenaded. Like it just blew up, blew a head gasket. You know, GM bought it back, but oh my God, don't buy one. Anyways, I say all this to say, if you want to make that change, if you want to see it happen, it can happen. You can make it happen. You just have to have the balls to pick one of these up, go like this, call your congressman and say, hey, you SOB, you better vote this way. I saw the administrator sent this up to Congress. When are you guys going to vote on repealing this crap? When are you doing it? Ask the questions. If you do email your congressman and you get a response back on the repeal, send it to me. Shoot me an email. If you go to my YouTube channel in the About section from a browser, you can get my business email. Send it to me. Send it to my email. The reason why I say that is I'd love to just start covering it and doing videos on what congressmen have been contacted and what they're saying so we can keep them honest and make sure they do the right thing here. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments section down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Like I said, go check out Double R Diesel's video. I'll tag him in the description down below. Go subscribe to his channel too. And, ask about the repeal side, and then ask about some of these shops, these mom and pop shops that didn't have a lot of money, that had tens of thousands of dollars taken from them. Are they going to get their money back? Anyways, until next time, thank you very much for watching. And as always, stay petty, my friends.